Hey everybody, it's Mad Master here. I'm just taking another break while I do this enormous project that I'm working on with my apartment and hopefully finishing it by midnight. That's my goal. And right now it's about 5 o'clock p.m. So hopefully I will get it done. So I just wanted to do one more video about the whole debate, Biden, whatever thing. So I've been a very loud opponent of Joe Biden since he started to announce his running in 2018, 2019. And there are many reasons why. Now, do I think he's done anything good? Well, if you count the infrastructure bill as good, like the whole thing with that is like, of course, infrastructure is like a necessity. It's like, it's stupid to like acclaim this guy for passing this bill, which probably has some stuff I hate as well. Whole censorship debacle with Twittergate, whatever. Just all the stuff with the wars that he's helped start. So the student loan thing, which turns out to be kind of a grift, even though, some people did get their student loans forgiven. And also, another thing about that is that the whole thing with the just some of these other things that he's done, I would give him like a D minus, maybe C minus on some of the stuff that he's done that is somewhat acceptable. But as far as like my more left leaning tendencies, sometimes like some of the stuff that's normal in other Western countries. Now there's other things normal in Western countries right now that are not so great, like or have been, in the past few years with some of these leaders and WEF kind of people and stuff, which I don't like. But, let's just say 90s, like Scandinavia kind of thing. Like, I'm just going to say 90s Scandinavia, 90s Netherlands or Amsterdam or whatever. Denmark, no. They're two different things. Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. Just saying about King Diamond in Denmark. So, King Diamond had to come into the conversation. Anyway, because he always does nowadays. So I'm obsessed. So this whole thing, like, oh well, these things that people take for granted, he's been acclaimed for, like little crumbs. It's kind of like Trump supporters like saying, "Oh my God, well, he actually went on TV and questioned the Federal Reserve, but didn't do anything about it. Passed this like half-assed bill or something." I'm just giving an example of like a hypothetical situation. Like the libertarians, like Dave Smith really lays it on the line what about Trump, like what he thinks. I agree with him on everything pretty much about that. So you get this left-wing part of me and this libertarian part of me that kind of fuse this weird Gemini opposite twins polarity whatever thing. I don't know, whatever. So whatever. So anyways, I was going to say, this is kind of the thing about Trump and the MAGA movement in general. What I think about some of these people are extreme right-wing Christians, which I am very opposed to. Donald Trump is not. So, ostensibly, like what was happening in 2016 through 2020 is that a lot of things that Trump would pass, I mean, he couldn't pass a lot of stuff that, or what am I trying to say? Congress wouldn't let things go past a certain point that Trump could pass, and vice versa. So a lot of things were more chaotic and more at odds. And sometimes a divided government is better than a united government of any sort. Being all Democrats or being all Republicans. Especially right now where things are so weird and chaotic, I think the chaos of a divided government is actually sort of balances, if this makes any sense, it balances it all out. So a lot of the bad things could not be passed. But not only that, I think this is the main point of this video. So I think Trump, like Bannon said the other day, Trump is a moderate MAGA person. So if that, and people don't understand what he means by that, but I'm going to explain this. So there are Republicans out there that are way more extreme and way more crazy, quote unquote, than Trump. And if Biden keeps in the race, these people will be able to run on Biden staying in the race and them basically committing elder abuse towards Biden. And this totally disgusting Democratic Party, which I do not like, by the way. But what's worse, I don't know. I think like a non globalist Democrat leftoid is probably, they're rare. Like Jimmy Dore is one of them. Those types of people, the Breonna Joy Gray, or the, even like to some extent, like the people that are anti-censorship, like Kyle Kulinski, like some of those people. I don't think Breonna Joy Gray is as good on that as Kyle Kulinski's been, but like just these people that are somewhat ostensibly anti-globalist and anti-war in the left, which used to be a thing, remaining in there. Like, I think those people need to be supported that are still in the Democratic Congress, which isn't really a thing as much now, but is with Israel, it's kind of become more of a thing again, which is good. So having this whole thing with emboldening these more crazy, like theocrat kind of types in Congress, I think Trump's going to win either way. But if Biden stays in, that's going to embolden these people to run on that. And if Biden drops, then these people will not be able to run on as much, even if the Democratic candidate loses. And also a younger, more spry, less senile candidate will be able to debate more. So I don't know what's wrong with these people, blue MAGA as they call them. They're just barking up the wrong tree with this. A lot of people are calling out people for like Rob Reiner came out and said he doesn't support Biden anymore running, and they're just like flaming the hell out of him. And I'm just like, I was just on social media, this woman said, oh, they're pieces of shit that don't want to support Biden after all he's done. And I'm like, the issue is not, to me, it's more of a pragmatism with government and what's going on. I don't want the leftoids to be the weirder, like the more corporate leftoids, I'd say, like the more corporate neoliberal types to win. And some of the weirder leftoid stuff I mixed on too. But I don't want the MAGA, like ultra theocratic types to win either. So the only way forward to me would be getting Biden out of there, because that's the only way that we're going to actually survive, I think, is having, the irony is the chaos and the division would be better suited our society right now, because it would create a lot of gridlock, which is actually healthy to some extent. And in this case, the gridlock would be better for our country, because shit would stagnate and be bad, but it wouldn't be like, a lot of the worst things that could happen wouldn't happen as easily, if you know what I mean, from either side. This is just my opinion. So I hope he drops, and I really want him to drop out soon. I'm not going to vote, because I don't vote Democratic or Republican. I know I have some right-wing audience, I know, but I'm never going to vote for Trump. Now, one good thing that happened this week too is he sort of denounced Project 2025. He's called some of the provisions abysmal and something he doesn't agree with, which is good news, but I don't know if he's trying to placate some of the criticism he's received. So anyways, I don't like Project 2025. Anybody that likes Project 2025 and listens to heavy metal is a fucking idiot, I'm just going to say, because they're not being consistent, because these are the same people, Heritage Foundation, all these groups that were burning, that was the type of person that would burn records in the 80s of heavy metal. So I'm not saying libertarians would. Libertarians are fine, or more libertarian Republicans even. But these kinds of like right-wing think tanks were totally with the Christian right. The Christian right was against heavy metal. Sorry, we're not going to retcon history. This is what happened. I was there, motherfucker. I'm old, so I was there. I saw this shit happen. It doesn't mean Al Gore was a Republican. He was a conservative Democrat, but it doesn't mean Democrats weren't. Andrea Dworkin worked with the Meese Commission. She was a leftoid. So, but some of the far left, quote unquote, and far right were working together. Well, they're all far left. Styx Hexenhammer would say they're all Aaron Heffler was a leftoid. I don't want to go into that today, but that's a long, more complicated than either side would say. So I'm not going to go into that bullshit. I don't buy it. Just like Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that. I'll do more videos about that if I decide to do more political videos. I'm really fucking sick of it. It puts my blood pressure really high. So, yes, Biden needs to drop out, and this is why. And I'm explaining why. Oh my God. That's about all.